This is ALR, this is Monza, and this is the Italian Grand Prix. We're on round 15 of season 4 of ALR, and goodness me, gotta say, last time out, it was an absolutely incredible race, wasn't it? And that has really spiced up the World Championship, hasn't it? Before we get into the championship standings, let's quickly, well, I hate to say this, but I've got to do it. I'm doing this way too many times these days. But of course, we got ALR got to just throw our condolences to Vitaly Petrov for his dad that, of course, was killed over the weekend, wasn't he? Which is unfortunate as well, because Petrov was meant to be a steward, wasn't he, for the Portuguese Grand Prix, which happened today. So, yeah, our condolences from ALR go out to Petrov and his family then. So, absolutely shocking thing. Shocking that we have to keep doing this more often, not really, as the terrible events of the world continue to spread, don't they? Anyway, then, let's quickly just take a look at the trap layout, shall we? It is 11 turns around here, 3.5 miles long. Now we go from one of the quickest Grand Prix in terms of time to one of the longest Grand Prix in terms of times next week. So of course this one I'm expecting to fly by. The week after though is Singapore, where it's probably going to be nudging on an hour. So yeah, this is going to be fast paced and electric, isn't it? So we got 11 turns around this 3.5 mile circuit, and 5.7 kilometers long as well. That record was way back in 2004 by Rubens Barrichello, and I'm sure that started off as a wet race, didn't it, before it became dry as well. In the ALR world though, our fastest lap around here was actually set by Stringy at 21.0. 038 then, of course, which is actually a couple of hundredths of a second quicker than Barrichello. The all-time lap record, I'm sure, was actually set by I'm sure it's set by Lights. It was set by Lights, who got pole position, his first pole position of his career last time out as well. A 19.350 then last time for Lights. That's some brilliant stuff indeed then, but unfortunately he's not here tonight, is he? Let's take a look at the drivers and the constructor standing, shall we then, before we get into the nitty-gritty of this Italian Grand Prix then. So Emerson and Granty, of course, the two championship protagonists, came to blows, didn't they, at the top of Eau Rouge last week, which I've got to say, it's just caused a lot of drama, hasn't it? And it has closed out the World Championship like an absolute treat, though, hasn't it? Emerson still leads the championship by 25 points from Granty in second. Then Pease is in third position at the moment. He is 43 points away, but he's had a fantastic debut season. Pease is brilliant. Caesar, his second race winner of his career last summer. He finished second in Belgium, but of course on penalty count back, he won the race. Good stuff from Caesar, and even moves up to fourth. Alhan is a point behind Caesar in fifth position. Alhan's on a spectacular race, spectacular championship, I think, so far. He's done a really good job as he was promoted from silver last season. We got Milan in sixth position as well. He's had 3 pole positions in his debut season as well, but unfortunately just struggles to get the race results, doesn't he? Which is a shame. Farshot started off so well, but unfortunately he's down to 7th now. He's also lost a position. Mr. Elite in 8th position. This is his strongest performance this season. Brilliant stuff indeed, and is at 4 years in ALR now. Fantastic stuff. Jonathan in his home race here, the British Italian driver, is 9th, and far from making his 60th Grand Prix start tonight in 10th position as well. In the Ferrari, in the home of the Ferrari as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. Our big movers, Equals, got his first, got some major points last time, didn't he? He is now up to 14th in the championship as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. Beastie, who would love to have been here tonight, but unfortunately hasn't been able to make it there, which of course it is the home of the Ferrari track then, so that's a big blow for Beastie, isn't it? Constructor standings is like this at the moment. Renault have a slender margin over Red Bull, who I've got to say are marching on quite solidly at the moment, aren't they? Really good job, really good stuff indeed there for the Red Bull team. They're only 10 points away from Renault now. So it's really starting to really close up. I'm loving it. We got Williams, the former Constructors champions, and they are 36 points away from Renault at the moment, and 26 points away from Red Bull. From Red Bull. Racing Point in 4th position, and they are 66 points away. And AlphaTauri in their first season, and they have had, I've got to say, it's been musical chairs in the AlphaTauri team. They are 5th at the moment, and Ferrari in their home event here tonight. And can they do anything? For its 6th at the moment, 24 points behind AlphaTauri. Of course, a fellow Italian team as well. well, isn't they? Mercedes in 7th position, they're 4 points behind them. We've got McLaren in 8th position. I expect McLaren and Alfa Romeo to be right up there. And the car on the screen now is the Haas team, and we're watching the debutant as well. But let's see what Jesus can do then as he drives the Haas, and he's 13 points behind the Alfa Romeo team as well. We've got a couple of debutants, I believe, here tonight, and so let's keep an eye and see what they can do. We're watching one of them then, so it's Indian Jesus and in the Haas, and lovely stuff indeed. Then car 69 as he approaches down into the first chicane. Then great stuff indeed. Then whilst Jesus is on the screen at the moment, then let's take a look at the comments, shall we? We've got Formula Geo, yo Sean, yo Geo. We got Jonathan Cox. Good evening, Sean. Home GP. Wish me and my family all the best, and indeed I do, John. Yeah, and I hope that you have a much better race than you have over the past couple of years in ALR. Because gotta say, it's not been a happy hunting ground for John Cox as over the past couple of years. We've got Clarky, yo, hoping for a wet race. Well, currently it's as dry as a bone at the moment. Then here in Monza Park, we have also got Michael Preston. Afternoon, my dude. And hoping you're well. I'm always very well then. Noonda is also in the comments as well. This beer virus is awful. And if there's someone that has benefited from this, I'd like to know how. Unfortunately, I think the only people that's benefited from this or Paul in the year has probably been dare I say the government? Well, I'm not sure about that. There you go. That's just me being very sinister. All right, then we're coming out of the parabolica as well. Then let's see what Jesus can do. Then this is first run at ALR. He goes top so far. Good stuff indeed then for Jesus. But of course, then he was the first man out of the traps. Then we've just got Total P's then coming into the parabolica as well. This man is his debut season, believe it or not, for Pieces. He looks like a seasoned veteran in ALR. Of course, he's had a race win in his career as well. I expect more though from Pieces. He's only 22-7 at the moment now from Pieces. We've just got the Alfa Romeo coming through as well. We've got a Renault out there as well. That is Mr. Elite then, and he is starting this out. Then we've got an Alpha Tari into the parabolica as well. I think it is Tango. It is Tango. We're on board then. Tango, he had such a good start, didn't he? Such a good performance in Hungary last time out, but sorry, a couple of weeks ago, but unfortunately it just didn't go well, did it? He's done at 20.1 at the moment then. It's Jesus there is still the man who is cream of the crop at the moment. Good stuff then. And we got Mercedes out there as well. I think it's Alhan who is in the Mercedes. Unfortunately, no Nigel here tonight, which is a big shame. Of course, Nigel also hit the 60 Grand Prix start mark, didn't he, last time out in Belgium? But it was quite a nightmare scenario, wasn't it, for Nigel? Unfortunately, Mr. Elite has invalidated his time, and he's going to have to go around again. What about Milan then? Of course, there is a famous city in Italy called Milan, then, but this man is definitely not from Italy. He is in Ascari at the moment, now, isn't he? Lovely stuff indeed. Lovely over the shoulder shot here as well for Milan. Then of course his teammate did do a very good job last time out, didn't they? Michael Preston saying, let's go Coxie, let's have this. Guna saying, what's the crack, everyone? Nuna saying, 21-0 is definitely getting beaten even in Q1 there. Granty, hello my husband, I hope you're well. I hope you have a good roast. I love a good old roast. We now got Pete, who's gone much quicker on his second time round. Milan has gone second fast at the moment now. So they are now just lowering the bar. They just exactly what Nunda said then. So of course Nunda a season veteran in this Formula 1 world, isn't he? Here comes Alhan, a man who's been so impressive, hasn't he? Remember, he came from silver, and since then he has just been absolutely fantastic in gold there. He is fitting like a glove, and his performance has just been getting better and better. He's had a bit of bad luck this season, but being in the top 5 of the gold division is absolutely fantastic. He's invalidated his time now, so that's why I should never compliment a driver before they finish their lap. Then we're on board of Equals at the moment. And I did have a very good roast. Thank you, Granty. We got Gunnar saying, good luck, John Bud. Formula Geo then. Ooh, roast dinner then. And I had a lovely leg of chicken there as well, of course. So I could say put a fork at me. I am done then. Equals coming through the parabolic as well. Then there used to be a bit of gravel on the outside then, but Equals is keeping well away from the track, outer part of track there. But that doesn't matter too much because he's gone full fast at the moment there in front of Tango as well. Emerson is just started us up as well. We've got a Haas coming through the final part of the course as well. It's Indian Jesus as well. We got Cummings there, who's just started us up as well. If anyone remember last time in Belgium, Cummings, my goodness me, in bronze there, he really shook up the division, didn't he? Unfortunately, he had a bit of a problem there over Eau Rouge, didn't they? And we're going to talk about Eau Rouge in the not too distant future then, because Peter's retired from the session. He is in the pits then. We will talk about Eau Rouge there in a bit more detail later on in this session, and as there is a lot to talk about between last week and this week. As I already mentioned, there has really spiced up things, hasn't it, in the championship, and I am rubbing my hands with glee. I love a bit of controversy and all that kind of jazz. It's absolutely fantastic because the championship battle between Emerson and Granty has been very friendly up to now. I've always compared it to Hakkinen and Schumacher-esque. Maybe it might be more Senna and Prost-esque and coming into the final stage of the season. I absolutely love it. Mumford there is going full fast at the moment now in the Williams there. What about Granty then? As Granty is invalidated, it's time he's going to have to take another bite of chair as well. Cummings has also gone off the track as well, slightly on board then with the hometown hero. It's Jonathan then, lovely over the shoulder shot as well. We've got Liam there saying, come on Tangy Beef, and Gunnar saying, forgot about all these fools, Sean. Did I miss something about a roast dinner? Oh yes, I had a chicken leg, so if anyone was interested in my diet, of course, do not take any inspiration from my waistline. Goodness me, I got to say that let's just say my waistline is as wide as Abu Dhabi, as the Abu Dhabi track, I should say. Then Jonathan there has gone into third fastest there, and only a whisker away from Emerson, who's gone second fastest. Of course, the championship leader at the moment. We missed him when he first had to go that. FIFA Beefy then. I think Fifi's the name of a dog, isn't it? FIFA, we're on board from now. 2 DRS zones around here. We'll talk about those DRS zones a bit later on as well. FIFA then, another man who's transitioned from silver to gold there seamlessly, and I think FIFA Beefy, he was a reserve, wasn't he, for a couple of weeks, and he was driving in all disciplines, wasn't it, gold, silver and bronze, and he was quite mega in those couple of weeks, and I think that those couple of weeks has really transformed this man. He has had 2 seconds, hasn't he, and he had a second in silver as well in that Brazilian Grand Prix on his return. He's currently 20th at the moment, and Elite is out on circuit as well, so is Clarkey. Granty is invalidated again now, Granty has. Clarkey there is currently on the he's on the second chicane as well. Mr. Elite then, who unfortunately didn't get a first time in there. H44, evening bro, come on, Jono. We've also got Ayrton saying, hello Sean, love you too, Ayrton. Mwah. Equaz saying, good luck gold, Formula Geo. Equaz, don't you race in Equaz, don't you race in this division? And I see, you know, yeah. So we've also got Bro Grilla saying, evening Sean, John for the win and peaceful pole position, love it. We got Michael Preston saying, let's go Jono, let's get it. And as Formula Geo there is asking Todd then, is Emerson, are you saying that Emerson won't be up there? Interesting stuff indeed. I love it when you guys get your opinions out, and it's brilliant stuff indeed there. Both Renaults there, I gotta say, are doing a really good job this season, aren't they? That is why they are leading the Constructors' Championship, but that margin is getting slenderer and slenderer, and Clarkey has gone fast at the moment. Clarkey has 6 points there to his name at the moment, the AlphaTauri, and of course remember Pierre Gasly won this race, didn't he? When Formula 1 actually visited earlier on this season, it might be the best race of the season, if I may say so. Of course, talking about the real world of Formula 1 there for a minute, and we must talk about Lewis Hamilton's mammoth achievement today as well, which I'm sure a lot of you would be very interested about. Of course, Hamilton one is now officially the most successful driver in Formula 1 history with 92 Grand Prix wins there. My goodness me there. When Schumacher set that record back in China 2006, if I'm not very much mistaken, something around that era, I didn't think I was ever going to be broken, or not going to be broken in, so quickly. I say so quickly, I mean it's about 14 years ago, but I didn't expect it to be broken so early on there. It's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Fire shot getting very much out of shape there in the second chicane there. He was going very wide then, Fire shot was back on board then. FIFA is on a lap as well then, so Fire shot and may be getting a bit dirty air here, but FIFA is just as, is allowed to be on track just as much as Fire shot at this stage of proceedings then. But yeah, going back to Hamilton, 92 Grand Prix wins, fantastic stuff indeed, isn't it? And he's on course there to become a 7-time world champion potentially as well. Farshot had to straighten up there in that scar there, and that's really that's really compromised his run as well. FIFA is about as well as 2/10 of a second up there, coming out of the Ascar chicane. The second intermediate split time is just out of that chicane then. Oh, shall I say, just before coming out of the Parabolica as well, and FIFA coming out to the line, and what is he going to do? He goes into a 2/10 of a second improvement now, but he is still the slowest of the times that has been set so far. We're on board with Farf, and he's invalidated this time, Farfast, but this is a very special day for Farf, which I'm sure he's over the moon about, albeit I had to just remind him because he forgot about it. This is 60th Grand Prix start in ALR, so fantastic stuff from Farf. Favre, and I think now he's either joint most highest starts in ALR history. I think he would be, because with Nigel not starting here tonight, Favre and Nigel are now going to be tied on 60 Grand Prix starts, and so fantastic stuff from Favre. And of course, this is the career of the man then. So he's had 3 Grand Prix wins there. Of course, he hasn't won since Bahrain season 2. He had a flurry of race wins, didn't he? He had 1 race win at the end of season 1. I think he won in Abu Dhabi, didn't he? Or around that race there, and then of course he won in Australia and Bahrain, the first 2 races of season 2. It's fantastic, wasn't he, that season? Unfortunately, he should have, probably could have, and should have won China as well, but it just didn't. He just didn't get rid of the green, did he? But yeah, 3 Grand Prix wins out for Favre, of course, all in quick succession as well. He was my dark horse for the season this season, but unfortunately hasn't come to fruition just yet. 9 podiums as well for Favre, lovely stuff indeed. He's had the fastest lap to his name, 4 Driver of the Day awards as well then, but and also I'm going to read this one out because I do love a bit of banter. He's also had 24 DNFs as well to his career as well, which ain't too bad actually. He's just under half, so lovely stuff indeed there from Favre. But yeah, of course, Favre has been a mainstay in ALR now for a number of years as well, and of course he is also admin of bronze as well. And so I got to say, a very highly oh goodness me, I thought he lost it there. Then it's Favre maybe oh goodness me, I got to say that would have been a bit frightening. Granty has gone 7 fast at the moment then, as he comes across the line, and I'm wondering then if Granty's going to be set up more for the race as well. We'll elaborate on that in just a jiffy then. Well, actually, let's elaborate on that now, shall we? Granty, of course, Granty and Emerson came to blows, didn't they? At the Jesus has retired as he's in the pits there. Granty and Emerson came to blows, didn't they? At El Rouge there. They were side by side, similar to Webber and Alonso. Unfortunately, they came to blows, didn't they? And of course, Granty was deemed to be at fault for the incident, and he's got a qualifying 2 ban as well for his troubles head. So I think he'll be definitely setting his car up for more of the race as well. Of course, I think in the past Granty's had some very strong performances over the years in Monza as well, because I'm sure he started quite far back one year, didn't he? He won this race last year, didn't he? And he also got fast up, and he won the race the year before. So I got to say, Granty is the only man on the grid to have ever won this race in ALR. So fantastic stuff indeed there from Granty. And I got to say, if he wins it again here tonight, that's going to be very well earned indeed, isn't it? Clarkey is still at the moment head of the table, isn't he? As Equals is just putting a time there, and he is 11 fast at the moment. Far shot also out on circle as well, as he's coming through. Curb by Grandi as well then. Hopping over the curb side. Also good on the ground trap as well. The ground trap on the exit there can really catch out the unwary, can it really? So you've got to be very much on your toes, haven't you? We've got 17 cars in this session, and we are going to be losing 2 cars, I should say then. Of course, it's the bottom 2. The slowest 2 will be out of qualifying 1, unfortunately. They've got 3 minutes to get themselves sorted. Serious Mushroom been looking forward to this one. Good luck. Good luck, Gold there. We've also got Gunnar saying congrats, Farf Bud, as well then. Of course, Gunnar has the all-time race record, which I will talk about that, I think, as Emerson's retired from the session. I'll talk about that, I think, more towards the end of the year there, when Gunnar's got a nice round number as well. But yeah, Gunnar, of course, is been in ALR since Bahrain season 1, hasn't he? Goodness me, I can't believe that. I can't believe that Gunner's been with us for so long. I'm surprised then that he hasn't got fed up of my Forrester voiceover as well. As Milan there is coming down into the second chicane as well. As we got Pike, who's just joined us as well, and of course he is the new driver for Force India. Unfortunately, Big Arns there has decided to call it a day, hasn't he? Which is such a shame now. So Simon Pike there is now driving the racing point as well, but he's got a difficult task here tonight because he'll be starting 18th on the grid then. Cummings is still in the pits at the moment now. Of course, we mentioned Cummings there after coming to blows with I think it was with Newman, and I think he hit the back of Velocity, and then of course Newman there kind of also hit him there at the rear there, and he spun him out, didn't he? So that was unfortunate there for Cummings. So hopefully he has a much successful drive here tonight as well. Remember, Cummings there, of course, signed up through the website as well. If you're interested in joining ALR, wherever you're watching the world, then of course if you go to www.advancedleagueracing.com and press on the join ALR button at the top right hand corner of the website then, as I'm doing a bit of PR as well then. And also remember to put in your Discord name as well, otherwise the admins can't get a hold of you. And of course, if anyone doesn't know what Discord is, it's a app on the Play Store and also on the App Store as well. If you have an Apple device or an Android device, and if you do have an Apple device, I'm very disappointed in you. Farf has invalidated his time once again now, so he is really causing. Oh, here comes it? Wow, look at that! Then there's Pike there flying through the first chicane, and goodness me, Cummings there is going to have to think about getting out soon because he's going to be out qualifying as Pike there is really there. He's going to have to do one lap. It's going to be one and done. Caesar, the man who won last time out, is also down in 15th position. We've got 4 cars who hasn't set a time yet with less than 50 seconds to go. Emerson has left possession. Oh, goodness me. Emerson has left possession. Luckily, he is safe and sound, but he needs to get back in quite quickly. Otherwise, that's not going to be good at all. Gunnar saying, I'm surprised you all didn't get sick of me a long time ago. No, definitely not Gunnar. As Mumford's retired from the session, of course, Gunnar has been of course, one of the household names there. Of course, he's a part of the further show in ALR, and it's great to have Gunnar along for the ride there. And he watches more or less all the streams there. He probably watches a lot of them on mute, apart from qualifying. And yeah, good stuff indeed there for Gunnar. And of course, as I said, part of the furniture as well, as is Farf and as is Emerson as well. Jonathan has also got a lot of names. A lot of straight starts, Grant as well. And oh my gosh, there is I'm not sure what's happened, but Pike there has had a very adventurous start to his ALR career, isn't he? Goodness me, he's had some issues there. Far shot there is also coming into the pits as well. He's had a problem there. Damn it, he's crashed on the straight there. Pike has. Oh dear then. And that's not good at all. Caesar coming up to the line, and he goes at 5th fastest. He's not far into the drop zone as well. Mumford is retired from the session. He's in major trouble. Cummings is out. Pike is out as well. That is row 8 done. No, 9 done. And goodness me then. And so that's not good at all. What about Farf? He is coming into the Parabolicum now then, accelerating away. And let's see what Farf can do then. I think he's got through there. Oh, look, there's a wheel on the circle as well from Pike's car. Farf does get through, as of course I think he might have put in a bit of extra juice there. He is driving a Ferrari in the Italian Grand Prix on his 6th race start, and I've got to say that what more can you want on a Sunday afternoon for Farf? I'm sure he is loving life then. Unfortunately, guys who aren't loving life at the moment, Cummings, we've seen him out there very momentarily, but issues there for Cummings by the looks there. Pike crashed heavily on the start-finish straight. He is out of qualifying, unfortunately, and so we only seen him now flying through the first chicane now, and Mumford out of qualifying as well by oh goodness me, less than a whisker there. He of course has got through into qualifying too. Fantastic stuff for Ecos there. His first points of his ALR career was last time out as well, wasn't it? Good stuff indeed then, if I'm not very much mistaken, which I think I am indeed. That is it was actually, but it was actually Hungary, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It was Belgium. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Anyway, enough about my appalling memory. We're into qualifying too then, and here we go then. So as just taking a look. Oh goodness me, you got a lot of chatty guys in the comments. I love it. As Grant is saying, starting at the back, well near the back then, because Grant will be in 15th position there. He is. He retires from the session now after him and Emerson came to blows, and Emerson's not come back in the session just yet, I don't think. But then again, I haven't been looking at the screen then, which I probably should there if I want to commentate. We have also got Liam as well saying, how on earth has Pike done that then? I gotta say, he was riled down the start finish. I know you got low drag on this circuit, and Emerson is back in the session. Lovely stuff indeed then. I know we got low drag on this circuit, but goodness me, spinning off in a straight line. I think Ericsson did, didn't he, in 2018, I think, in practice 2, I think it was. But of course, that was a DRS failure, wasn't it, I believe. So I'm not sure how he's done that. Clarkey is saying there, first to last there, within a second there. It is so tight, isn't it? And that is going to bring me on to my next point then. Of course, then we've got a lot of new drivers in this season, haven't we? They've come in, but I've got to say then, as a field overall, just looking at the field then, of course, when Nosey posted the who's driving what tonight, I was looking at the driver lineup, which I've got to say I'm very organised tonight, which is very unusual. But looking at the caliber drivers here tonight. I think that in terms of quality, this is the best quality field that we have had in ALR in its history. Listen to this, and we have got Caesar with 2 Grand Prix wins. We've got Pease with a Grand Prix win as well. We've got numerous drivers there, like Jonathan Cox there, 10 pole positions to his name in his career. We've also had Tango, who has also been very close to pole position as well. There's so many incredible drivers on this field there. There's a lot of race winners as well. Of course, we've got a double world champion in the field. We did have Nigel in the field as well last time out. Unfortunately, he's not in the field this time. He was the first ever ALR world champion back in season 1 when he was driving that Red Bull then. As Pike has left the session there, so that's not good at all. Pike there is not even done a lap there, crashed into the pit wall, and he's gone already. So hopefully he can come back in the session, not in the not too distant future. Jonathan is starting his lap now. Two DRS zones there. One on the start-finish straight, and also one coming out to the second Lesmo and up into the Ascari chicane as well. Brilliant stuff indeed then. As Grant saying, going to be my close race then. It is indeed there, and I think Granty, I'm not sure if does he want that or doesn't he want that. Of course, starting in Q, being starting down 15th position there, of course, it's probably one of the most easiest tracks to overtake on, I suppose, isn't it? So Granty might be happy from that standpoint. Well, it's much better than having a qualifying ban in Singapore, but of course, if it's so close, it's going to be very difficult to overtake with DRS trains and all that kind of stuff. And I think I see a lot of flashbacks from Hungary, and a lot of drivers was having a nightmare there, wasn't they, in Hungary just over a week or two ago as well. So just watching and Serious Merchant saying slipstream fast here. Granted, you should be okay. Michael Preston Mumford, my fellow Welsh, you got him, man. Then get it done in the race, then, dude. We've also got Gunnar saying definitely the most exciting so far, as Clarky said there. 1 second separating them, more brilliant stuff indeed there. Granted saying fresh tyres, hoping to make it through the field then. Lovely stuff indeed. Then we've got Jonathan there on the medium tyres, and of course if you get into qualifying 3, you must start on the tyres which you set your fastest time on, of course, which I know all of you are very knowledgeable about that, as Tango's there for session as well then. So we've got a couple of issues here, haven't we? Hopefully I can get back in the session now then. Emerson, of course, left the session earlier on then, but he is back in there and raring to go as well. Mr. Elite then in qualifying 2. He's a stable driver now in the top 10, and he is currently a second and a 10th, I should say, away. Then Caesar is going second fastest moment, and 3/10 of a second away from Jonathan as well. So they are coming up into the first game as well. Pease, who of course in qualifying 1, his first run wasn't too good, was it? Of course, Pease was doing his best Michael Schumacher impression, wasn't he, in Belgium, as he won the race there from 16th on the grid, or he almost won the race from 16th on the grid there. A time penalty there really cost him that incredible race, didn't it? Otherwise it would have been absolutely fantastic, wouldn't it? Here comes the championship leader. Of course, Emerson has been runner-up in the last 2 World Championships, hasn't he? Emerson has. Of course, Emerson, we've been watching Emerson grow in this championship, hasn't he? Because he made his debut back in Azerbaijan as Season 2. And, of course, this was the first league where he really dipped his toe in, didn't he? And he's been very fast from the outset, hasn't he? He's a man with a lot of natural potential and a lot of natural ability as well. He's seen the championship not there, but that championship lead is being whittled down. Granty is starting in the midfield here tonight, but you cannot discount out Granty, can you? Because he just seems to thrive coming from near the mid to the back of the field there. He's a very good overtaking opportunist, isn't he? And do not forget Pease as well. Goodness me, there Pease also lights up the timing sheets every now and again, and he was, I think, the highest scoring driver over the past couple of races as well. So Pease there is also starting to force his way into that championship battle as well. Well, Emerson is second fastest at the moment. Then we've got Jesus, who's back out on circuit there in the Haas. And let's go on board then with the newest Haas driver as well. Of course, we talked about Pike there being the newest Racing Point driver. I almost said Force India there. Racing Point driver. But we've also got Indian Jesus. Congratulations there to making the new to be a part of the Haas team as well. As Pillars, unfortunately, has bowed out then after missing 3 Grand Prix in a row, which is a shame really, because Pillars was doing so well in silver, and then only raced a couple of races in gold, hasn't he? But Indian Jesus out. He is on the soft tyres in the Haas car, and I got to say, he's looking a very fruitful driver indeed, isn't he, Jesus, as he comes through the Parabolica as well. Lovely and jubbly indeed then. As we're coming through at the Parabolica, before is he coming? No, he's finishing off then. Let's see what he can do. He has gone fastest out on the soft tyres, of course, so Jesus has, but very good time indeed then. Clarky, who has gone top of the time sheet as well. Goodness me, I got to say, Clarky is very much on it like a car bonnet tonight. He has never had a pole position or or a podium in his career so far, or a race win, of course, if you're on a podium. But my goodness me, that Clark is definitely very getting the job done so far here tonight. Here's FIFA Beefy in the second Lesmo. Look at that Red Bull there. The brake disc glowing on that Red Bull car. Absolutely beautiful stuff indeed then. Of course, Red Bull were so good in the first season of ALR, weren't they? They had the first ever Constructors Champions as well, wasn't they? With the combination of Crazy Hitman Nigel and I think it was Jochen as well, wasn't it? They had 10 wins, 8 poles, and 17 podiums there. Remember, Granty had 17 podiums just on his own there, didn't he? Last season, incredible consistency as well. Just watching the FIFA there coming through the parabolic as well. I've already spoke about FIFA and how great he's become as an ALR driver, hasn't he? Of course, Silver, he was very good then, but as I mentioned, those couple of weeks that were his reserve was fantastic, wasn't he? Really good stuff indeed there. He's gone to a rhythm there, and it's quite a frightening rhythm for the Renault team, especially as the Red Bull now starting to inch closer, isn't it? With Caesar and FIFA there on fine Vettel, aren't they? Both of them. Equals there is half a second up out of the second Lesmo as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. Of course, and he is coming down the back straight before he comes into the Parabolica as well. Tango and Farsham coming on the pitch, yeah. Alhan and Farf are just emerged out of the pits. Toll Pease, who set a time, and but hasn't really set a presentative time yet. What about equals that? He improves out to a 20.8 there, just a whisker in front of FIFA and Mr. League. Goodness me, it's very much nip and tuck, isn't it? Alhan starts us up as well then, of course, up until recently, I think, even now actually, Alhan has been very good, hasn't he? Of course, he was promoted from Silver as well, and he's been in a lot of races this season. Alhan he's actually driven in 13 of the 14 races that we have participated on so far. The only one that did drive in was the British Grand Prix a couple of rounds ago. Then, of course, that was no fault of his own, was it? For Alhan, so he's just been so consistent, so squeaky clean, hasn't he? This Mercedes driver has had a really good something. Unfortunately, hasn't got a teammate here this weekend, as we are missing our Nides there, unfortunately. As just going back through the old comments said, yeah, Liam saying there, of course, all top class drivers love watching then, and Granty, as we've also saying, Granty say appreciate the comments. Thanks, Shawnee. No problem at all there. Of course, I don't say stuff unless I mean it. Of course, as Alhan there is invalidated this time, and Farf is out on circuit as well, and of course you're in ALR Gold for a reason, because you're fantastic drivers, of course, and we're just watching Farf coming into Sky then, as where we talk about fantastic, I go on board with Farfred. Is that maybe a sign of things to come here in Italy? I think Farf and Ferrari would love to get a good result here tonight then for Farfred. Of course, Farf has been 2 seasons in Ferrari now in ALR, hasn't he? So he's become very much a Ferrari legend, hasn't he? In the same breath as Jean Alesi and Gerhard Berger, perhaps. While Farf comes across the line, he is 6th fastest at the moment there. Good stuff indeed there from Farf, and Total Peace and out of the Parabolica as well then. And he has done another time there. He's 8300 a second down, and I'm not sure if Pease just can't get a lap up, or if he's if he's on a couple of mistakes that Tango are on board with as well. And his teammate Clark is very much right at the pinnacle of the grid at the moment. He's fastest so far. Lovely stuff indeed then, as he is coming through the old first chicane as well before accelerating away. Of course, this track has had a lot of modifications, hasn't it, over the years? Well, I say a lot. Well, it's had one modification, which is the first chicane now. Remember the back 2000, I think, before, they had 2 chicanes, didn't they? The first 2 chicanes there, which they modified into 1 chicane, and I think they was also going to modify the it's Clark is left for session. That's not good at all, is it? And we're watching his teammate Tango then, so hopefully Clarky can get himself back in, because that would be a huge blow for Clarky. That's what I mean about the about how competitive this field is this season. Is great, isn't it? To see the likes of Pease, Caesar really come flying up to the top of the standings is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? And seeing the likes of Alhan there just really becoming a mainstay in the division as well. It's brilliant stuff indeed there. So we want to see the likes of Clark. He really show their teeth, don't we? And the same with Milan as well, actually, because Milan's had 3 pole positions this season. It's an impressive pole position record so far. He has the joint most pole positions of the season so far, with 3 apiece with himself as Tango goes 6th fastest, with himself and Emerson, of course, 3 apiece so far, and everyone else has got 1 pole position, as it's been spread out over the years, hasn't it? Over the season as well. Clarky is back in this session. Absolutely splendid stuff. 4 minutes to go in this session then, and Darren is saying that Clark is very fast in a straight line. Goodness me, isn't he? I haven't seen much of Clark in this session now, but I think I need to keep an eye on him. Goodness me, that man can move, can he? Great stuff indeed then. As of course we've also got Darren saying the PS5 is out soon as well, but let's see if we can get your pre-order in. I got to say I've been struggling for weeks as well. Unfortunately, I've decided that I'm one guy that just is very bad with money. If I go and try and buy something, I'll get distracted and buy something else. So instead of that PlayStation 4, I'm probably just going to buy a swimming pool, even though I haven't got a garden. Just watching Equals out coming through the second Lesmo, and I'd like to hear your as Clark is just giving away his setup there. He's 1-4 wings there for the win. Lovely stuff indeed there for Clark there. Of course, a lot of drivers are usually very shady about their setup, aren't they? Or play their cards close to their chest then, but Clarky isn't. Or maybe he has just duped me, which to be honest, it's not a very hard thing to do really, as yeah, with my IQ of 69 you can just tell me anything and I believe anything. Anyway then, it's Equals and it's about to wind up in starter's lap now then. Of course this is Indian Jesus has retired from the session now. He is second at the moment then, so he thinks he's fairly safe then. We've 2 3/4 minutes to go then. Equals is out of the finish line and he's going to start us up now as he's coming down the back straight then. Where is he going to break then as well? We're on board then. Look at that, and the braking powers on these Formula 1 cars, it's absolutely incredible, isn't it? I gotta say us mere mortals there, I think my head would fall off my shoulders if I was in an F1 car and I had to brake. That was incredible, isn't it? Coming through Curva Grande then, it's not as difficult as it once was in a Formula 1 car. Of course, this track has been on the calendar for umpteen years, hasn't it? I think that the Italian Grand Prix has only been hosted hasn't been hosted in every year bar one, wasn't it? Which is 1951, I think it was, which was missing off the calendar. But Monza has been almost ever present, hasn't it? Of course, with that scary banking as well, before it was converted into the circuit we know and love today. Oh, sorry. As Clark is saying that while I'm in part for me, so I thought I might as well give it away then. As Darren says, I'll just nick Granty's setup as well. As Grant saying, I'm slow at the moment now. But of course, I think that Granty is definitely thinking more about a race setup as well. Of course, it's 2 completely different setups, isn't it, between qualifying and the race, I would say. Of course, 1 lap pace there, where you're not concerned about the tyres, are you? Just want to go as quick as you can, whilst the race you might be more concerned about trying to extend the tyre life. And Equals improves his time there by 1/10 of a second there, but stays 8 fast at the moment. Total piece is 1/10 of a second up as well. Alan has also started his lap there, so there's a lot of things going on in this session at the moment there, isn't there? FIFA Beefy on the soft tyres, are on board with him now as well. The top 6 has retired from the session, apart from Clarky, who is probably just enjoying himself with his feet up, and lovely stuff indeed there. Oh my goodness me, I think we have just seen his Liam has just said Caesar's crashed and he's out. Oh my gosh, then, as I've completely missed that then, whilst I've been yapping on about all kinds of weird and wonderful things. Caesar is out of qualifying now. He is in qualifying, he's in the top 10, but he won't be in qualifying 3. Caesar is out of the qualifying session, and that is a huge blow. Oh dear then. And I was just talking about how good Red Bull have been over the past couple of races. Well, this is not good at all, is it, for the team that is second in the constructors? FIFA goes across the line. He is 4 fastest there. Is that going to be safe enough? And what about Pease? Pease comes across the line. He is 3rd fastest. Great stuff indeed. What about Alhan coming across the line? We've got less than a minute to go then. He is 9th fastest over there. And knocks Farf out of qualifying. Farf is still in the pits then, so Farf is out of qualifying then. Fireshot is on a run at the moment then. We've got Mr. Elite then, who's a 10th for a second down the first sector. Equals has come back to the pits. He is out of qualifying as well. On board then with Fireshot. His teammate Jonathan is quite happy in 4th position then. And we might have a top 9 shootout rather than a top 10 with Caesar unfortunately out of the race then as well. And we're coming up into the Scar chicane as well. Fireshot has done a very good middle sector there, but that is his personal best, and that back end, and I thought he was going to steer out there, but Fireshot, goodness me, then he's a brave soul, isn't he? He doesn't take his foot off the accelerator too often, does he? As we're on board then with Fireshot as he comes through the Curva Grande as well, almost running too wide. If you run too wide, that'll be a track extension, which means that time will be deleted. Fireshot is through and into qualifying 3. Alhan is out of qualifying, albeit as unfortunately, because Caesar's time now was still 2/10 seconds in front then. So Alhan out qualifying, and Mr. Elite improves to 12th position now, but not quite enough to sneak himself into qualifying qualifying 3, unfortunately then. And I think that's all done and dusted, isn't it then? Alhan will start 11th, but the beauty about that is he can choose whatever tires he wants to start on. We have got Mr. Elite then, who is 12th fastest then. Far fit on his 60th Grand Prix start is in 13th position there. Maybe he's opened the bubbly too early. And 14th position is Equals then. Grant T course qualifying 2 ban. He will start 15th then. As Liam saying, it happened 5 minutes ago. I thought I'd bring it up then. I'm glad that you're paying attention, Liam, because I'm certainly not, am I? We've also got Mumford saying, is this my 25th race, Sean, then? I think it's your 27th, if I'm not very much mistaken. I'll have a look at that in a minute, but I'm sure it's your 27th race, Mumford. I think your 25th was back at the Hungarian Grand Prix, something like that. We got Dave Cummings, went out once, got invalidated, left it to the last minute to go out again, and I get a delivery out the door then. Oh dear. So that's why Dave didn't get out then. There's a delivery. So I'm hoping that it was something nice like McDonald's or KFC. Now that would be really good then. Or I don't know, maybe something from Amazon. That'd be nice. So I hope it's something like that. Anyway. Jonathan saying both McLaren's through into Q3. Come on then. Darren should have left it, Dave. So, well, it depends on what kind of delivery it was. But hopefully it's something hopefully something good for Dave. Out of qualifying then, Granty Q2 ban there. Equals in 14th position, Far in 13th, 12th for Mr. Lee, Alhan in 11th position, and Caesar, who luckily that Liam's paying attention. As I said, I'm completely not. But Caesar, the man who won last time out in the Belgian Grand Prix, is in 10th position, and he will start 10th. And he'll start on those old medium tires as well. So unfortunately, not only does he crash out at qualifying 2, he doesn't get a chance to improve his track position, his grip position, but also he also has to start on those old tires as well, which is unfortunate. As we are now getting through into qualifying 3 then as well then, we have got as Darren saying, unless it's food, then yes, of course. If it's food, then you can definitely not leave that. You must answer the door if it's food. Then that's certainly what I'll do. If I ordered something that came here during this qualifying session or an ALR race, I would probably I leave it? Ooh, that's a very big that's a very big judgment call, which I do not want to make. So yeah, I've got to say, there's an R in there, isn't it? We've got Grant saying new pole time. I'm sure of it. Yes, I think that these cars are so quick. These might be the quickest cars in ALR history then, as because they are going to be slowing down, going to be losing 10% of downforce, aren't they, next season now, which also might relate to the game as well. But we'll find out. Of course, I'm thinking way too far ahead because that's almost a season and a bit ahead. As of course, season 5 of ALR will also be on the Formula 1 2020 game as well, which will be starting in the new year sometime or thereabouts. But that's after Christmas, and I think we need to get through the next 3 months first, don't we? With all this stuff going on in the world, goodness me. We got Charles saying both AlphaTauris through to Q3 as well. Lovely stuff indeed, yeah. Both McLaren's through, both AlphaTauris are through as well. Good stuff indeed. Both Red Bulls would have been through. Unfortunately, Caesar is out of qualifying. We've got Dave saying it was Amazon Xmas present for the old man then. Yeah, I think that definitely you can't ignore that. Goodness me. We've also got Gunnar saying Xmas is ages away. You'll be grand. So we're just watching Indian Jesus as well. I've got to say, on his debut there, Indian Jesus has done a fantastic job, hasn't he, to get through in the qualifying 3 there. He looks like the real deal to me, doesn't he? Good stuff indeed then. As we're just watching Indian Jesus down the back straight as well. I think I've just ripped my trousers, so that's not good at all. Usually I do this in my shorts, so yeah, but it's a bit brisk tonight, and I've got to say, I've even put my socks and slippers on as well. I think they're my fluffy monster feet slippers as well, which I might send a tweet out later on, of course, on the ALR channel, on the ALR channel, or no, what's it? Account, that's it. Twitter account. I'm not very up to speed with these cool new stuff and all that kind of jazz. As we were just watching Indian Jesus and coming out of the first chicane as well, accelerating away the Haas drivers. Haas, I got to say, has been a bit of a it's been a bit of an up and down season, hasn't it? AlphaTauri as well, of course, they've had a bit of a revolving door, haven't they, of drivers then? But hopefully for the remainder of the season, Clark and Tango are looking very strong, aren't they? And I think AlphaTauri would love to keep hold of those two drivers, wouldn't they? Fran and Tots would be absolutely fantastic. We're absolutely loving those drivers, won't they? As India G said, flicking up a bit of leaf as well. And before into the second Lesmo as well, and before into the DR saying, going underneath the old bank in here in Monza. There it is, and you can see then before rising back up then into the Scottish chicane as well. Maybe the toughest corner on the circuit. Well, the car always, the back end always goes lights around here, doesn't it? Remember, Coulthard spun out on the formation lap around there in 95. And I always seem to bring up a lot of bad memories in these broadcasts and ALR there of David Coulthard there, who I used to be a massive fan of back in the mid-90s and early 2000s. Milan there has had a problem there. He's backed off his lap then. What about Jesus said he comes across the line, and what does he do? He does a 19-0 then. Good stuff indeed then. What about Emerson? He's been on pole position 3 times. He ain't going to be on pole position at the moment though. He has to invalidate. Jonathan has been on pole position once this season. He is on pole position there by a tenth of a second. Tango's quickly eclipsed that though by 2 tenths of a second as well. Tango hasn't been on pole position yet this season either. Clark is in the second chicane as well. Milan is going to have another bite of the cherry, isn't it? Clark is in the second Lesmo as well. Sorry, the first Lesmo, I should say. So, yeah, so we got 3 times on the board so far. We have Milan on time on the board as well, but it's not very justified there, is it? So he's going to have to go around again, isn't it? And we're on board now as well. So he is now going under the old bank and then before rising up then into the Scottish chicane as well. Look at that, 212 miles an hour there from Clarkey, who has really been head and shoulders there above the rest of the opposition so far, and lovely over the shoulder shot as well from Clarkey. And of course in his very young career in ALR he's outscored at 6 points so far, hasn't he? And he's finished both races he's been involved in so far, in Hungary and of course in Belgium as well. Good performance there from Clarkey in Belgium, and let's see what he can do. But here this weekend now he's really on it like a car bonnet, and he's on pole position there by 2 tenths of a second there from his teammate, and it is an AlphaTauri in their home Grand Prix. There's 1 and 2 of the boat. Lovely stuff indeed then. What about Milan then? We're on board with Milan then. He has been on pole position 3 times in his career and of this season so far. Milan he is definitely a 1-lap specialist so far, isn't he? He's doing very well indeed then. I think that really Milan there has been so unlucky this season. I remember in pre-season we was talking about how good Milan was, and unfortunately he's got pole position. He's been brilliant at, and let's see what he can do now. He goes third fast at the moment there, and he's only a whisker away, 3 tenths of a second away from Clark at the moment, and who is at the moment the benchmark for these guys to aim at then. Fireshot then is just about to start us up then. We're on board with Fireshot. You can see the graphic down the right hand side then as well. It tells you about the gears, it tells you about the speed as well, the RPM, and also very important, just as important, maybe more important, is the energy recovery system as well. And also DRS is enabled then, as we mentioned then, the drag reduction system, as the rear wing has been opened up then as he breaks down. Where does he break? Just before the 50-meter board down into turn 1 and 2. Yellow flag then as it's just an AlphaTauri, I should say, just coming back into the pits as well. Lovely 70 then through Curva Grande as well then. Of course then that corner might be quite difficult when it's a completely drenched the track is, but in this beautiful sunshine, not a problem at all then. Into the second chicane as well, running out there, not too wide then, into the first Lesmo, which is right in front of us as well, breaking down into 6th gear, 5th gear there, again on the power again as well. The second Lesmo is slightly slower than the first there, 120 miles an hour as well. DRS then, look at that, he didn't even hear the beep in his ear, he was already on it there. Fireshot was then a former pole sitter and a race winner as well. Fireshot was then now coming up into a Scurry then. And he's invalidated his time now. Look at that, it's all about centimetres and millimetres in this game. Fireshot just over the curve there, and unfortunately that is track limits there, and that is it, done and dusted. Emerson, the world champion, is out on circuit as well. Pease then is in the first Lesmo, going into the second Lesmo as well. Emerson there, we haven't seen much of slipstreaming actually in this session, have we? That is usually an important point in the Italian Grand Prix qualifying. Slipstreaming and getting every ounce of advantage you can in this Grand Prix is vital, but so far slipstreaming, I've got to say, hasn't been too important. But Emerson there might be trying to pick up a cheeky little slipstream there from Pease there in the final stage of as well, and coming down the back straight as well there. Look, there is Emerson, you see the flash of yellow then Emerson is there. Of course he's also got a company car, Emerson has there, with the Renault Clio, as we're now coming into the Parabolica before accelerating away then. Let's see what Pease can do. What's he going to put on the board there? Second fast at the moment. What about Emerson? Emerson's on pole position there. He's a tenth of a second in front of Clarkey then, with 4 minutes to go, well 5 minutes to go in this session then. He's a tenth of a second up there, and Emerson once again showing his speed then. He has completely cut the first corner there, but goodness me then, Emerson then go for his 4th pole position of his season, and I think that will be his that'll be his 6th pole position of his career, if I'm not very much mistaken. No, I am mistaken, it is his 8th pole position of his career as well. well. And he's holding in on Jonathan Cox quite quickly now, isn't it? If he does get his 8th pole position, he'll be only 2 behind Jonathan now. Incredible stuff there. And we were saying last season that was definitely Emerson's Achilles heel, wasn't it? Was qualifying. Same with Grant as well then. But this season, Emerson has really nailed that down, hasn't he? He has been, I think, on average, him and Cookie have been the quickest, haven't they? But of course, unfortunately, Cookie no longer part of the championship, and Emerson there has had a lot of issues there with interweb connections and also technical issues as well, hasn't he? He has been unlucky this season. In terms of retirement rate, this is the most retirements he's had in a single season, which is currently on 4. In the last 2 seasons combined, he only had two DNFs. And so really, the last 2 seasons, 2, this season 4. That's almost double, isn't that? Is double that. Goodness gracious me, there for Emerson. Well, he's still in the championship at the moment there. From Grant, then, who he's having a tough time as well. Grant has only had 1 Grand Prix win so far this season, back in the Chinese Grand Prix. But it's that consistency, isn't it, which just keeps chipping away, and of course as long as you mathematically got a chance of the championship, Grant will certainly be in there. Same with Pease as well, and of course Pease this is his debut, and Pease doing a cracking job this season, isn't he? FIFA goes 8th fast at the moment, and he's a 10th of a second away from Indian Jesus in 2nd position in the Haas at the moment. Milan there is out quite early, then he wants to get his time in there straight away, doesn't he, the Alfa Romeo driver then. He's got the track almost all to himself there. FIFA BV in coming into Curva Grande right now as well. Well, Gunnar has asked me a very interesting question of how many DNFs he's had there. I would not like to comment, Gunnar. So we should just leave it there, shall we? I know that Gunnar, I think that you don't have as many DNFs as what you may think. Actually, I'm sure it's in the 30 mark. We're just watching Milan there as he is hopping over the first chicane and before accelerating away. We got Michael Preston saying, "Come on, Johnny!" Johnny currently 6th fastest there in his home Grand Prix as well. As Milan there is, looks like he's abandoned straight away there. So he's very slow, isn't he? Coming through Curva Grande, usually on 4 beans there going through there. But Milan there having a couple of issues then as well with 2 minutes to go in this session then. Jake Wilson mentioned that this was his debut last season, wasn't it? He says he can't see himself near the top here tomorrow. Would settle for 6th or 7th. And of course, Wilson there is a really completely different driver from this time last season, wasn't he? Of course, made his debut there. And of course, his last couple of races, he's been fantastic, hasn't he? And it'd be great to see what Wilson can do tomorrow as well. Then, as Granty asking, Gunnar, how many safety cars have you bought out in your DNF set? I'd actually say that Gunnar more often than not as FIFA's retired from the session. I think Gunnar more often than not has brought out a safety car. I'd say that it's at least 75% success rate from Gunnar. So lovely stuff indeed there. Anyway then, but of course Gunnar, a major part of ALR's history, isn't he? So I feel that I feel as much as we're having a laugh about goodness DNF said, he's more often than not has been a part of ALR for such a long time, hasn't he? I've got to say, I feel like I'm having a bit of a throwback here tonight. No, goodness me! I think it's because we're in Monza, isn't it? Of course, it's an old-fashioned circuit, isn't it? And of course, one of the best race circuits in the world. This is about Temple of Speed, isn't it? We haven't played commentary bingo tonight, have we? Where you normally mention in the Italian Grand Prix, you mentioned Temple of Speed, you mentioned Scar, you mentioned Ferrari, you mentioned Tifosi as well, don't you? With Parabolica, you could mention all those words are synonymous, aren't they? With the Italian Grand Prix, you've got just over half a minute to go. Then Milan is a 10th of a second down the first intermediate split time. He hasn't got enough time now to get to the to finish off this lap now and go again. Then so this is all or nothing now for Milan. Then Tango is out of qualifying. That's it. He is in 9th position, and the Alfa Romeo, the Alfa Tauri driver is unfortunate. Oh dear, that's not good at all. Then who's going to be the last one across the line? I think it's going to be Indian Jesus. I think it is there. He has got 13 seconds there to get through the Parabolica. Milan is still 10th for a second down in the second intermediate split time. He's invalidated. He's in the wall. He is in the wall, and he is out of the qualifying session there. Milan there is, I think he's seen his time. He's seen his doubters down there, and why not just give it all? And unfortunately, the car just didn't pay him back there, did it? Clarkey is 3/10 of a second up in the second intermediate split time. Fantastic stuff there. Accelerated away then, and coming down out of his sky then. Let's see what he can do. His target time is at 18.495 there, set by Emerson. Can Clarkey get his first pole position of his career in ALR Gold then? Out of the Parabolica then. Let's see what he can do then. This is the last corner. It's pole position there. He lost a bit of time towards the end there, didn't he? I wonder if Emerson's got a mighty final sector in him there, but Clark is on pole position by just over a tenth of a second there. And I gotta say, it is so close, isn't it? Of course, it's 3.5 mile circuit there. The amount of decisions you got to make there is going to be down to the minute amount of time here. This is fantastic, isn't it? Accelerating out, and yellow flag then. Peace out an issue. It's Ascari. What a shame. Here's the hometown hero. He is full fast. He's on the second row of the grid as it stands at the moment. Emerson is coming out of the final turn. He is on pole position. Emerson's on his pole position for the fourth time in his career. What about Indian Jesus out of the final turn? And can he get in front of Milan then? Yes, he can. He's in sixth position there. And Pease, unfortunately, has had a problem now on that. So Emerson on pole position for the fourth time in his season. Wow, what a season for Emerson so far in terms of pole position success rate. This is Emerson's best season to date, and brilliant 17th. And so once again, Emerson is on pole position, and so that's his fourth pole position of the season, his eighth pole position of his career as well. Lovely jubbly indeed there for Emerson. Really well done then, and he is going to be starting from the front then. Is that going to be a curse or a blessing then? Well, we're going to find out then. Everyone of course wants to start on pole position, but with the slipstream around here, this is going to be fantastic. Emerson then eighth pole position of his career, fantastic. Clarkey on the front row then. Brilliant stuff from Clarkey since the get-go, since the pit lane open now. Clarkey has just been there or thereabouts, hasn't he? Unfortunately come up just short in the end then. Total Peace then unfortunately didn't get a second run in, but he is third. Jonathan in his home Grand Prix is fourth as well. Tango didn't get a second run either in fifth position. Indian Jesus on his debut right in there sixth. Milan there seventh. FIFA eighth, and Fire Shot no time in at ninth position as well. Jonathan saying to P4, I'll take that lovely stuff indeed then. As just watching Gordo ask it, heavy rain for the Grand Prix then? Ooh, I'm not sure, to be honest. I haven't really heard anything about rain, which is... Well, it doesn't look like it to me there. As you can see then, we got a bit of sunshine, haven't we? Bursting through the clouds. Lovely stuff indeed then. As we're just about to get ready to go then. Vanquish says, what's up, Ginger? Still in the mix? I love it. Yes, you can't get rid of me, unfortunately, for Nosey and all the admin guys there. I bet they wish they could. But I'm just like, I'm like that annoying fly that just keeps coming back, really, especially when you're having a meal kind of thing. Anyway then, the cars are out of the garage. They're all on the circuit. All 18 drivers in this Italian Grand Prix. This is going to be good stuff indeed then. And Farshot has forgot to load a setup as well, and that's not good at all then. And really good. Good. I'm loving all your comments as well, guys. Keep them all coming in then. Got good support as well from all drivers then as well. Lovely. Right then. Here we go then for the Italian Grand Prix. Hopefully the formation lap is not as chaotic as the 1995 one, and hopefully we'll have a much cleaner start in the 95 race as well. If anyone remembers, Andrea Montemimi had a big old smash in the Pacific, didn't he, at the Ascari chicane. Now I think, was it Max Papis in there as well then? I remember a lot of cars being in there. There's a lot of cars right at the back of the field there that came a cropper there. I'm not sure if Tango's come back in the session yet, so we're going to have to find out then. Right then, let's go for the grid from front to back. I think that I think Pike hasn't come back in the session either then, which is a shame. Emerson is on a pole position then for the Italian Grand Prix. This is 8th pole position of his career. It's 4th for the season as well, and he's been absolutely fantastic in qualifying this season, hasn't he? Clark here alongside him on row 1 then. That's going to be juice as well. Clark is not in the championship fight, is he? He just wants to go for glory, doesn't he, in the Italian Grand Prix? How's that going to affect the racing then? Total Pease is now starting to really emerge as a championship protagonist, isn't he? Let's see how his driving style changes. Jonathan not in the championship not in the championship hunt either, but he is racing for hometown glory here in Italy, isn't he? Tango in 5th position now. He is not back in the session yet in 5th position then. 6th position is Indian Jesus on his debut. Let's see what he can do. He's a top debutant. Lovely. Milan in 7th position. 8th position is at FIFA. He is on soft tires along with Indian Jesus, and they're going to be flying off the grid there. Fire Shot has got issues with his setup in 9th position. Caesar in 10th position. Unfortunately, we didn't see, well, fortunately for Caesar, we didn't see his crasher, but unfortunately for Caesar, he didn't have a... Oh, and he's in the wall already. Alhan in 11th position, and he is on that fresh and medium tyres. Mr. Lee in 12th position. Far for his 60th Grand Prix start. Let's hope he has a good one. Now he's joint all-time most starts in ALR Gold then with Nigel. Brilliant stuff. Equals in 14th position. Then Granty, the double world champion, in 15th. Mumford in 16th as well. Both Williamses. Sharon, row 7. Cummings is had a problem there. He's down in 18th for the 17th position there, and Pike, who's in 18th position, then unfortunately he is not in the session at this moment in time. Then after having an issue in qualifying, then 27 laps around here. Let's see what this is going to happen then. Right then, we'll be as we recover around this. Vanquish saying when PS5 comes out, I'll be back then. It'd be great to see Vanquish in ALR, wouldn't it? Goodness me, then. Of course, he's a very quick customer indeed, isn't he? Right, we've got 27 laps then around Monza then, as Emerson is lining up and getting ready to get going as well. And we've got 5 lights then to release these caged wild animals, haven't we? And goodness me, then going down to turn 1 there. Who is going to be late on the brakes? These they are heat engineers, I should say, on the formation lap. Oh goodness me, we're already going then. And yellow flag is flushing around, waiting for the green flags then. There they are then, and we are now waiting for those magical lights then to come on then. As here we go then, and there they are then. The revs are building up then as well. So we got a fizzy colour in the background there, and now we're racing here in Italy, and it is go then as Emerson gets away very nicely indeed. Toe Piece is already up in the second already, as there's a appalling start there from Clark. He is dropped from second to fourth already as we go into turn 1 then. It's, we got a bit of brushing there, and look at this then, is Indian Jesus has flown up the field there on those soft tyres. That good 17th then, as we're coming out of the first chicane as well, through Curva Grande as well, and how they all behaving there are at the moment. But we got side by side action there. Is Tango then, who was not in the race then, as he is just dropping down the, no, he is in the race. I apologise to Tango, he is back in the race then. Fireshot has dropped down the competition as well, and Mumford and Alhan is Alhan and Grant there coming wheel to wheel. Alhan once again is on the appalling start in ALR. He seems to be having troubles getting off the grid at the moment, doesn't he? So that's such a shame then. And Emerson has had the absolute most beautiful start in Monza, is what you can imagine then. Brilliant stuff. He's already 1.6 seconds in front. Indian Jesus got past Pease, headed up into second position. He's had a fantastic start. He's gone from 6 to second there in the first lap alone there, as we come through a sky for the first time. And that corner is very perilous indeed, isn't it? Where you got fresh cold tyres, haven't you? And Emerson is pulling away, isn't it? He needs to get the job done tonight then. Yellow flags out the background there, as we're just seeing Mr. Elite there overtaking FIFA there, going into the entry into the Parabolica. That one completed. Look at the gap there. It's 2 seconds already. Emerson is flying away, isn't he? No DRS just yet. We're on board there with Clarky, who was on the front row. He is down in fourth position. Pease is on the grass. Oh my gosh, he's on the grass there. He's side by side with Indian Jesus. Indian Jesus has to turn it, and Pease has forced his way through and up into second position. Lovely 17th then, 3 accelerator winner from coming through Curva Grande as well, far from the 13th position as well. And now then, let's see. India G said had a fantastic start there, didn't he? On those soft tyres there for the Haas driver. He is now in third position, and he's on the podium on there. But Clarky, who we've seen qualifying, has been fantastic so far. Granty at the moment then is at the back. Granty's at the back. He's in the pits there, and I'm not sure, but I think he's on the hard tyres. The man who's won this race in the last 2 seasons is right at the back there. Mumford has left possession there. He is still in 16th position there, so hopefully Mumford gets himself back in there. Emerson there is now 2.5 seconds there. He has just launched away from Pease in second position at the moment. Fantastic. What an absolute perfect race start for Emerson there here tonight. And we're on board now then with Clark as well. He is now up into third position, and he passes Jesus, who drops down into fourth position. Remember, Jesus on the soft tyres then. Biggest winners and losers on the opening lap then. Unfortunately, Granty is down 3 positions, as is Alhan. Alhan again and having issues there. And Injured Jesus dropping down the order then. He is coming to the pits then, as we've got a lot of slipstream going on. Injured Jesus is out of the race then, and well, that's not good at all, is it? He's just coming to the pits and retired. That's not good at all from the debutant there. As we come down now into the first chicane as well, got yellow flag there, as it is Injured Jesus is the first retiree in this race. Well, Pike is also not in this race at the moment either then, so that's not good, is it? As we're on board then with FIFA at the moment, and Caesar, who's in 7th position as it stands at the moment then. And as Milan there is coming down into the second chicane as well. Look at that then. Tango all over the back of Jonathan. Jonathan's gone wide down to the gravel, but Tango is not close enough there to strike whilst the iron's hot then. And that's a shame there for Jesus, and it's As just on board now as well. Then, as there's a lot of puns going on about of course one of our newest racers, but unfortunately Jesus just started in the pits and retired from the race there, which is a bit unfortunate there. And he just got overtaken really, and I'm not sure if there's a technical issue there for Injured Jesus. We'll have to find out. Oh my goodness me, Mr. Lee and FIFA side by side there through the Ascari chicane now. My goodness me, that takes a lot of bravery. Now Mr. Elite there is all over the back of FIFA as he is on soft tires, and Granty has gone to the hard tires there in the back then as he's on the inside into the parabolic. Look at this, and fantastic stuff. We've also got Equals all over the back of Farshot. Remember, Equals needs to get as many points as he can there to just really stretch his advantage there out of the relegation zone as well there. And now then it's FIFA has dropped down to a position, or has he? No, he hasn't. He's back up into no, he has dropped down to the position as Cummings there and Alhan are also fighting side by side as well there into the first chicane and giving him a good old nudge there. Goodness me, look at these cars there as Mr. Elite there is almost forcing Farshot onto the grass there. Look at this as we come through Curva Grande, and I'm sure Farshot has had a big old shunt here, didn't he, a while ago? I'm not sure if it's last seen we'll see before. Wow! As they come into the second chicane. So goodness me, Mr. Elite there is a bit of a doorstop at the moment, isn't he? As now look at this, as Equals is going underneath the rear wing of Farshot. Not quite at the moment then. As you can see, the leaves are falling off the tree as well. Brilliant stuff indeed then. As we're on board then with Equals into the second Lesmo as well. We have now got Total Peas there is now 2.5 seconds back, but he's now starting to stabilise the gap. Then it's a good stuff indeed there. Farfar, of course, said we celebrating his 60th Grand Prix start, and he is now the Golden Odie. He is he's the most experienced driver in the field there, and I think that's damage on Equals' car. It is indeed then as they come through a Scar then as Equals has got damage then from board with Farfar. Of course, he's a wily old fox, isn't he? And now he's going to use his experience there to get past Equals. I'm wondering if Equals might have to come to the pits. He's on the medium tires. That's not good at all. Cummings at the moment now, struggling on those hard tires. He was the only man, I believe, to start on those hard tires. And now Farfair is Farfair just giving him a nudge there as he is now up into then position. Good stuff indeed there. So Farfair is back through. Oh no, he isn't, because Equals is coming back underneath the rear wing of the Ford. Two Italian manufacturers, albeit we know that Alfa Romeo is basically Sauber in a Alfa Romeo skin now, but Farfair is through and up to 11th position as well. We've Tango's up for Sasha there. That's not good at all for Tango, is it? Of course, he is one of the quicker drivers in this race as well, but that is not good, is it? Goodness me, 32 people. Gosh, I'm getting a bit stage fright here. So now we're coming out the second chicane as well, and Caesar is into the first Lesmo. Milan is just in front of him. Milan there is just picking his spots at the moment, isn't he? And so that let's see what he can do there from fifth. Well, I think he started from the grid, didn't he? But we're back on board now as well with the Red Bull driver Caesar. Of course, he had a big smash in qualifying, but we didn't see it, unfortunately. And as I already said there, I'm glad that the guys in the comments there were definitely paying attention then, as Alhan has got past Equals and moved up into 12th position as well. I'm not sure what's going on with Alhan's starts in the last couple of races. Remember in Belgium, he was on the front row of the grid there, but he just dropped like a stone, and he's done it again here today. I'd love to know what's going on with Alhan's starts, and maybe he's maybe there's a configuration issue or something. Oh my goodness me then. Oh, that's Tango then who's had issues there, but Farfair is right underneath the gearbox there for Farshot. He will have DRS as well as Clarkey is past Toll PZ. Now Clarkey is in second position, 2.4 seconds away from Emerson. Oh my goodness me, he had a bit of Colin McRae there coming out of the chicane as well. Now has he got the pace there to get after Emerson? Has he got the pace to get after Emerson, or is Total PZ not going to be letting that happen then? So now we're coming down into the second chicane as well then, as he goes over the curves then. But let's see what we can do. Tango back in the session as well. Hopefully Tango can now stay in this session now to the end of the race as well, because it's really hurting him at the moment, isn't he? Come through the first Lesmo as well then for Caesar then. So it's unfortunate that, of course, the man who's won 2 races this season, of course, in the Austrian Grand Prix and in the Belgian Grand Prix as well, as he's been really good this Caesar hasn't he? I think the next season I'm really looking forward to seeing if he can make a proper title challenge to the old guard of Emerson and Grant as well. And I've got to say, even Pease as well. Yes, Pease in his debut season, but goodness me there, he has really come on song, hasn't he, as of late there. Really good stuff indeed there for Pease, and Farfar still right underneath the rear wing, underneath the gearbox of Farshot as well. So Farfar, the only Ferrari driver in this field, then he would love to really make a splash here tonight, won't he? And look at this, Farshot there is really struggling there. See, look at this, Clark, he's on the fast 7 on the inside to the parabolic, and These two men, I gotta say, are never shy in sticking their nose in the place where it doesn't belong, isn't it? As Alhan is also involved in this. Well, look at this. Farshot is coming underneath then. Oh my gosh, and they're almost battling on the straight there. Farshot has got a 3-second penalty there for extended track limits. Look at Alhan is good. They've sandwiched them from McLaren. Oh my gosh, and this is getting very much razzle-dazzle, isn't it? Oh, there's damage on the car. Who is it? I think it's Farshot. He's lost his end plate there. Oh dear then. And Farf is up in the 10th position there, but Farshot, it might not be too happy there, whereas it was getting very interesting indeed there, wasn't it? But goodness me there, Farshot and damaging the car in the McLaren on the medium tyres. That is really going to hinder him, isn't it? Especially around a track like this, you need as much turning power as you can, isn't it? Because he's going to have a lot of understeer now, isn't he? Alhan just snuck underneath both of those drivers there and just stole it, didn't he? And we're on board now as well then, as I think Indian Jesus there was I think he did reply somewhere, but unfortunately I've missed it all. But hopefully we'll have hopefully someone can remind I'll find that comment a bit later on then. So just watching Farfar, who's in 10th position at the moment then. He's 6/10 of a second away from Alhan, as we just seen Alhan there just snuck underneath there, didn't he? Farshot and Farfar, who was just basically intrigued. Oh, Farshot is off there. Cummings is up into 11th position. Farshot has dropped down to 12th then in the McLaren then. Tango's left for session again, and this is a big blow for Tango. Look at him, there he is in the background there, and he's really hurting at the moment, isn't he? Grant's there all on his lonesome, down in 14th position, isn't he? But he is on hard tyres. How far is he going to get on the hard tyres? Equals is just, oh, is a Farshot's also got a 5-second penalty. He is out of the race then, and Farshot there. Of course, you're not meant to retire unless you have a legitimate problem there, and I think Farshot is maybe has a legitimate problem there, but we can't see it on the graphics there. But that's a shame there for Farshot out of the race as well, though. Season now as we're on board FIFA at the moment then. Clarkey was homing in on Emerson, but Clarkey unfortunately is now back to 2, or fortunately I should say for Emerson, unfortunately for Clarkey, he's 2.1 seconds away from Emerson now as well. So Emerson there is looking strong at the moment then, but anything can happen in Formula 1 in the ALR, and it usually does, doesn't it? Which I keep saying time after time then. Tango is back in the session then, on board then with Mr. 60, and that might be his age as well, but we're just watching Farf and we're just only counting on his Grand Prix starts at the moment in ALR, but yes, he might also be 60 as well. As we're on board as well then, his Indian Jesus had to retire because he had the earth stuck. Well, that is such a shame, isn't it, for the debutant? Remember that Indian Jesus just came into the session there, was I think he qualified in a very good 6th position on the grid, or around that area. I'm sure it was 6th on the grid there. I really should take note, shouldn't I? But and then he just really flew off the grid there, didn't he? Had a Kimi Raikkonen-esque start, didn't he? And really good 70, but unfortunately for Indian Jesus, he's out of the race then. Farshot out of the race as well. Grant, he's got a 3-second penalties is going to be a major factor in this race then. So even though just like in Belgium now, you've got to make sure we got to make sure that we do not count our chickens before they hatch, do we? I was getting very excited about Pete, and then Caesar stole it under the nose, didn't they, of Pete, albeit Pete knew a lot more about what was going on in the race than I did, which is not nothing unusual. We've lost our timing screens on the left hand side at the moment then, but hopefully they'll come back in a jiffy. Farshot there launching over the second chicane there, isn't he? Goodness me. These Formula 1 cars are not meant to take flight there, but Farfar was, got to say, did get some air there, didn't he? Goodness me, I think he was playing Tony Hawk's. So we're just watching through the second Lesmo as well. It's Alhan there. He is 0.8 of a second away then, in behind Mr. Elite at the moment. And Mr. Elite there is doing a cracking job. There's FIFA. He is the only man on the soft tyres to start this race, apart from Mumford and Pike. But Pike was out of the race, left qualifying there, and unfortunately hasn't been able to take part there, and Mumford I think left the race and hasn't returned either, so I think FIFA is the only man on the soft tyres, isn't he, to carry on in this race, isn't it, to carry on this race then. So let's see what we can do then on those soft tyres, and no one else on the soft tyres, everyone else is currently on those medium tyres. And into the pits comes Caesar then, and it's very difficult to slow down the pits around here, isn't it? So we're on board then with Caesar then. Red Bull mechanics already there, going on to the hard tyres. Lovely, some detail, of course, that they broken their records today, didn't they? Red Bull with another sub at 2 seconds stop there. It's fantastic, isn't it? Cummings has got past, and Tango's got past. Well, Granty is 11 seconds beyond Tango at the moment there. He's down in 13th position. I think Granty might be open for a safety car as now and then as Caesar comes out of the pits then. And Tango there. Is Tango back in the race? He is indeed then. He's in 11th position moment, Tango is then, and he's just just fighting up from the back, isn't he, at the moment? So that's a shame. That's a shame for Tango on connection issues. on board then with Alhan at the moment, and he is 6 tenths of a second away from Mr. Elite at the moment. So Caesar's coming to pits there. He has changed tyres. He's got onto the hard tyres now. He's going for the undercut around here, which I'm quite surprised actually, because the Caesar on soft tyres hasn't come in the pits yet. He is still not within striking distance of Mr. Elite then. So those soft tyres are not falling apart too much, have they? So doing a very strong stuff at the moment there. Fire shot saying, fire shot on inches there as he got hit seven times there by Farfru, who's just in the background of our screens there. Into the pits there comes a total piece from third on the racetrack. So the Racing Point mechanics are getting ready to work there on that Racing Point as well. Let's just take a look. There he is, and he comes into the pits, and he's also changed onto those hard tyres. Car number 2 then, in and out in a jiffy as well. Lovely stuff indeed there. They've got a nice buffer, haven't they, between the Haas of Cummings and of course Farf. He comes out the pits now. Cummings going to get by. This is not what Pease wants. He is going to get by. He's at full steam now, coming down the pit straight. And yes, indeed he is then. So Pease is going to have to muscle his way past Cummings as well. Cummings making his debut in ALR. This is his first race for ALR. Well, his first race in gold for ALR. Of course, he only raced a couple of corners in Belgium for bronze there, but really showed his pace there in a bronze fantastically just over a week ago. And a tournament of bronze there, of course, bronze is racing here on Tuesday night there, 7:30 UK time. And this was the scene of the bronze's first ever race, wasn't it, last season? So it's going to be a great anniversary there for bronze, albeit it's not a year, is it? But there you go, that's just from my strange old logic. Pease has just got right underneath the rear wing of a Cummings there in the matter of corners there. That just shows what old hard tyres, the new hard tyres does to you in this race then. And look at that, and that's just the power of the fresh rubber there. Clark is down to 1.7 behind Emerson at the moment. I'm really enjoying the battle between Emerson, as we've already said. We've watched him grow in ALR. Clark, one of the newer members of the field then, and it's great to see new blood against old blood, isn't it? I'm loving it. Milan there is currently in the pits as well, and FIFA is also in the pits. He's had a great stint on those soft tyres. I wonder what tyres is going to go on. Is he going to go on the hard tyres, you think, or is he going to go on the medium tyres? Grant has got another 3-second penalty then, as the penalties are starting to accumulate at this stage of proceedings as well then. Now as he comes over the line then, Milan is coming out of the pits now. He has gone to the hard tyres. FIFA is on the medium tyres then. Interesting stuff indeed then. Tango also in the pits. Well, Tango has been fighting an uphill battle since the start of this race, hasn't he, with connection issues. Caesar back up in the 9th position as well. Milan down in 10th position. We've got a bit of a field spread at the moment, haven't we? So this is going to get very interesting. I think this is in the second half of the race. This is where it's going to get really interesting. I got to say, we're only at 7:45 UK time, and goodness me, this race is flying by. We're almost at half distance around this Italian Grand Prix. That is how quick it is. It's flying around there, isn't it? And as we're just on board now then with Alhan as well, and Gunnar has made a very incredible word there, which I can't even read it. What's that? Imagination 3? I don't know. But God, that just shows. I think that Gunnar has definitely got as more street smarts than I am. I try and use little words, especially when I'm broadcasting, because I can't even. I struggle to use very complicated words anyway. And if I do, I'll give myself a self high five. Alhan then coming out of Parabolica as well. And this battle between Mr. Elite and Alhan and Farfare has been. I wouldn't say it's been raging on, has it? It's been a slow burner, this one, hasn't it? Between Alhan, Mr. Elite, and Farfare. And of course, this is the battle for the midfield. Having said that, Alhan is gaining on Mr. Elite then. This is his first real opportunity. He's alongside the Renault driver. He passes Mr. Elite and moves up in. Oh, he's got a 3-second penalty there. Mr. Elite there is not giving up, is he? But Alhan is through there. He has the pace, I feel. Alhan is he going to be able to stretch his legs now, or is Mr. Elite going to stay in this slipstream and the DRS and just keep it in his wheel tracks there of Alhan as we come into the second chicane as well, and hopping over those curbs then. Oh, Mr. Elite there getting a bit too happy, getting a bit too greedy there on the exit there. And but Mr. Elite there is doing a good job there. He's in DRS, and of course you have to be within 1 second of the DRS, 1 second of the car in front there to get the drag reduction system. Of course, that is the rear wing letterbox where it opens the rear wing, and where it opens the rear wing now. And of course, you get like a nice hand there where it just pushes you forward, doesn't it? So we've got half the field coming in the pits, half the field hasn't it. Emerson hasn't come in the pits, Clarkey, no Jonathan hasn't either. On board with Alhan, Mr. Elite and Farfed doing good races. All three of these guys are brilliant stuff indeed. That Total Peace has got an 8.8 second deficit between himself and Farfed, and that's what he wants there, because he now has now there he is around the background just coming out of Ascari. He now has time to stretch his legs there. Alhan hasn't pulled away, has he? So these guys are just showing that they've got very much a similar race pace as well, which I love to see then. So that was a car in the pits there. That was Mumford Mumford, who's out of the race as well. I just read that Mumford had issues as well. Couldn't do nothing, chose my setup, and the hub went, and all the ALR just started going then. So that's a shame now for Mumford. So Mumford also having issues as well. So we're down to 14 cars in this race out of the 18 that started half distance thereabouts. And this is how it stands at the moment. Emerson's leading by 1.1 seconds there from Clark in second. Then I gotta say then that the battle between Emerson and Clarkey is very much a very interesting battle indeed, isn't it? They're yo-yoing around then, but Clarkey there is almost within DRS. He is within DRS range as well now. Jonathan is 7.1 seconds back, but Jonathan, just like in Belgium last week, is having a strong performance once again. His best race performance this season was Belgium with 4th position. Alhan is in a strong 4th position at the moment, isn't he? With Mr. Elite 5th on Farfar also coming through the field nicely as well in 6th position. Total P's also who's doing the undercut, isn't he? He's on the hard tires already. Let's see what he can do then. I wonder if these guys are staying out to try and go on the soft tires. Interesting stuff then. We've got Cummings then on his debut here in gold then in 8th position. Caesar in 9th position, but he's gaining on Cummings. Milan in 10th position. That is the top 10. FIFA is on the medium tires in 11th position. Of course, he started on soft, he's gone to medium. Grant in 12th position. He's going for a very long stint here, isn't he, on the hard tires? But he needs a safety car to get himself in the points, and so major points might be lost here tonight for the champion. 13th is Equals, and 14th is Tango. Retirements Mumford had a hub issue there, didn't he, where he just couldn't do anything, could he? We've had a Pike then who had a big smash in qualifying, and that's the end of that, wasn't it? Fireshot out of the race then, as he had a couple, he came to blows there with Farfar, came in the pits there, and had major issues, didn't he? And Indian Jesus there also had issues as well then. So we're on board Clark. He's now in the heart of that dirty air, isn't he? So let's see what he can do then. Is he now just putting? Now is he just reducing the just like pulling back slightly now, so he can doesn't overeat those tires then maybe. As we're on board now then with Clark, as we're going through the Ascara chicane and hopping over those curbs then, and accelerates now as well. This has been great, isn't it? You can see Emerson's doing a lot of harvesting, isn't he? In that Renault then, as Caesar is right underneath the gearbox there of Cummings there, coming through the first Lesmo as well. He's gonna have a look there, isn't he? But Cummings there going onto the grass there. Farfar's got a 3-second penalty as well. And look at this, and this is DRS. Is he going to have a go? Oh my goodness me. Farfar's out of the race, and he's gone off at the Ascara chicane. His 60th Grand Prix. 60th Grand Prix start is ended in the gravel. Farf out of the race then. And what a shame then. That was Ferrari's only hope then. Emerson into the pits there. He's on the soft tyres there with 11 laps to go. Oh my goodness me. Jonathan is in the pits. Well, they've rolled the dice, haven't they? And now into the pits comes the McLaren team as well, also on soft tires out for Jonathan. Alhan and Mr. Lee in as well. Clarkey has stayed out then. Interesting stuff there from Clarkey, going back to this battle here then. And Emerson's going to come out the pit still in second position then, so he's still got a clear track then. So Clarkey did not follow Emerson in the pits then. Is that going to be a mistake then? Look at this then, as Cummings there is still on these hard tires right from the get-go. Caesar now up into 5th position as well there. We've got a lot of alternative strategy, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Total Peace has come up in front of Jonathan there. He is 5.7 seconds back though from Emerson, but Emerson's got to go 11 laps on those soft tires. Is that going to be able to make it to the end then? We're going to, this is I've got to say, this is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? On board Milan then, who's behind Cummings then as well. And I wonder if why Cummings didn't come in as well. I reckon that they might feel that the soft tires can't go to the end now. So this is getting very feisty indeed, isn't it? Now the gap is down to 19.3 seconds, isn't it, between Emerson and Clarkey. And of course, when you do a pit stop under the VSC, you do not lose as much time as if you are normal racing speed, I should say. Milan is into 6th position, then Cummings has dropped down to 7th, and now into the pits comes the race leader, and Clark in the pits as well then. So there is the Alpha Tower, they're going to work then. Can he replicate Gassi's incredible drive back in of course the Italian Grand Prix earlier this season there, where he won the race then. Look at this then, as now we just see Clark coming out of the pits as well. That is how much time he's lost. He's going to be on Behes as well here, Clark is. Let's find out then. So I feel that one lap there, it's not going to be huge, too much huge difference here, I feel then. So I'm wondering if that was a mistake there from Clarkey, but who knows? This is going to get very interesting very quickly later on in this race, and with 10 laps to go, Clarkey is second. Total Peace is third there. He has now got a task on his hand, hasn't he, to keep this man behind him. The hometown hero, what a race it'll be for Jonathan there, with both Ferrari, with Farfar the race, and the second Ferrari of BC having issues there and unable to race there. unfortunately. And so Jonathan has got the Italian, right in the Italian hearts there, hanging on his every whim at the moment, hasn't he? He is in fourth position there, and he is chasing down Pease for third then. He, of course, got a 3-second penalty as well. It's not looking good as far as that session he is out of the race then. And that is our 5th retiree in the Italian Grand Prix. And as you can see, the field spread is quite apparent in this race at the moment, isn't it? Interesting stuff indeed then. So Emerson there, the gap is floating around 4 seconds at the moment. Total Pease there is on the hard tires and he was going for the undercut, I believe. Then unfortunately, that virtual safety car has basically ended any hopes of that, hasn't it? So that virtual safety car coming at the wrong time, hasn't it? Unfortunately, then, as we're on board then with Jonathan now as well. Emerson set the fast out of the race. They're in at 1:21. 1:21. 1:19 then at the moment. Good stuff indeed then. And of course that is almost 2 seconds quicker than our previous lap record in ALR, which is a 1:21 by stringing in. So that has been completely eclipsed then in this race, which is what we expected really. The lap records in ALR have been broken in everywhere apart from the Monaco Grand Prix then. So all the season 4 then, we have just been at absolute record speeds in ALR, which is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? And back on board then with Jonathan. He has got 0.8 of a second, so he's in DRS range as well. Clarkey is coming at Emerson at quite a frightening rate of knots at the moment then. So I'm wondering if Emerson there is just doing a bit of harvesting at the moment. Of course, Emerson, a very experienced cookie in his own right as well, isn't he? Of course, Emerson, this is Emerson's 52nd race start now, isn't it, in ALR? So yes, it is Tango's left for session there once again. What a shame for Tango. He's having major issues tonight, isn't he? And that is a big blow indeed then. Cummings still hasn't come in the pit yet then, so he's the last of the runners not to pit, which is very interesting there. So he's got a very fresh soft tires there. It's down to 3 seconds between Clarkey and Emerson then. This is going to get very interesting indeed there. Jonathan there is all over the back then of Total Pease as well in the McLaren. And look at this, he's gaining, but he has DRS then after the Parabolica, and he's just showing a nose cone there to Pease then out of the Parabolica. Clarkey is set the fastest up of the race as well. My goodness me then. And that was just quite a that's quite a statement of intent there from Clark, isn't it? It's down to 3.2 seconds. No, it's up to 3.2. Look at this. As he's now alongside Pease, he passes Pease and moves up into third position. Jonathan Lassad, he's on the podium, and this is best Italian Grand Prix in ALR so far. Then. Oh, we've got 3 abreast then, and Cummings has dropped behind FIFA and Alhan. Alhan is now stormed up into 7th position. A good drive here from Alhan. Lovely stuff indeed there. FIFA also having a strong race as well for the Red Bull team then. Lovely stuff indeed then. As they come out of the first chicane, and Cummings is now going to be under attack then from Mr. Elite, then who's in 9th position as well then. So when is Cummings going to come in the pits then? Very interesting stuff indeed then. Goro is saying this could be the quickest race in ALR history. At the moment it is the quickest race in ALR history there, as we're on lap 19 already there. Of course the virtual safety car might have really thrown the gauntlet to Silver there, because Silver might have the quickest race in ALR history tomorrow there. So we might have to time it from start to finish there. So of course I've got to make sure we keep everything in record in ALR, because I do love a good start. And look at this, Mr. Elite is passed and up into 9th position now. Cummings dropping down to 10th then. I wonder if Cummings is staying out a bit too long at this stage of proceedings now, and this is really hurting his race, isn't it? Unless he's doing like the goal hanging kind of thing, which Ted likes to talk about, where Cummings is staying out and waiting for that safety car. Grant, he's got another 3-second penalty. I think that's up to 8 now, isn't it? For up to 9 seconds now for Grant, which is it's unfortunate for the champion, isn't it? As he seems to be on the back foot there when he came in the pits very early on. Then after, we're not sure if he had damage on the first lap or if that was a roll of the dice. I don't think it was the roll of the dice. Cummings has got a 5-second penalty, hasn't he? And that is not good at all, is it? So he comes into the pits there, Cummings does, and he'll probably be on the soft tires now as well then. As Serious Merchant saying about Tom Jonathan got some good luck there. Good job out there for Jonathan there. Yeah, great stuff indeed there, Jonathan. Though we do not want to jinx the British Italian driver, do we? Of course, as Jonathan now has ended his race here at the Ascari chicane, and we last season as well. So we do not want that at all, do we, from Jonathan there? So doing a very good job indeed there. Jonathan is in third position. Is the strongest drive of the season so far. On board Mr. Elite at the moment, then. So he is now catching up to FIFA quite quickly. FIFA's on the medium tires as well. He started on the soft, he's gone to the medium then. And of course, Mr. Elite started on the medium, he's gone on to the soft tire then. So they've gone for the alternative strategy, or the opposite strategy then. But Mr. Elite is up into an 8th position at the moment. That might come back to FIFA Beefy later on this race as well then. But we'll soon find out then. As we're on board then with the 2 men on the hard tires then, which is Milan and Caesar. And of course, Peas as well then. But look, there's Alhan in the background. Mr. Elite will also be coming out quite a quick rate of knots as well then. So this is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? Lap 21 out of 27. The pressure that Clark is putting on the championship leader, Emerson, is absolutely intense at the moment. But Emerson is absorbing it with the moment fantastically well, isn't he? Milan there is coming down into turn 1 there, as Caesar there parking his car right in the acceleration zone there, and that's going to definitely frustrate Milan then. But this is a good drive from Milan, isn't it? In that 6th position, a strong drive indeed. Granty comes into the pits there in the Williams there as well. He's having a bit of a nightmare race, isn't he? The world champion, and back on board then with Milan at the moment as we're coming into the second chicane as well. Oh, there's Milan there. Oh no! And Milan there is spun it there, and that's once again. I'm so sorry, Milan there. And he has spun it there. And is that going to be a safety car? I don't think it is, actually. He recovers quite quickly. But Milan there, what a shame then. He was in 6th position there, battling for 5th potentially. The wheels are going to be a bit grubby there. So it's got to be careful that the car don't spin again then. But Milan there, once again then, just having rotten luck in race trim, isn't he? Qualifying trim, we are not questioning that performance. He is brilliant on 1 lap speed. Race, unfortunately, just having a couple of issues there, isn't he? What a shame from Lana, and I think he has thrown away potentially 5th position there, albeit there was 2 very fast cars coming behind him in Mr. Elite and Alhan as well. So Cummings is now also he's on the cusp of getting some points here, isn't he? At the moment, and we're on board then as Michael Preston saying, "Let's go, Johnny boy!" Doing a great job at the moment. Then really is, isn't he? In 3rd position there, and he is now out of DRS range of Total P's as well. Cummings there is out of the Ascari chicane then, and he is definitely coming for Equals. Equals there, who has accumulated a couple of points last time, as Milan is in the pits then as well. What a shame for Milan there, and he's coming in the pits on one of those soft tires that are going to be on the Alfa Romeo then. Let's see what he can do then. So this is also going to put Granty back in the points as well, the champion, and every point might count in this championship proceedings. We're on round 15 out of 22 then, and where is Granty? Granty actually, is he going to get in front? He is going to get in front. So Granty is in 11th position at the moment. He's not in the points yet, but I got to say in front is Equals on 15 lap out hard tires. Cummings there has just got up to 9th position, and we just missed that overtake then. But yes, good stuff indeed there for Cummings. He is now up into 9th position as well. This is the battle for the lead then in the Italian Grand Prix, and Clarkey are on lap 22 out of 27 there, and he is now within 2 seconds there of the championship leader and the race leader as well. This may come right down to the wire, ladies and gentlemen, then, so I hope you're all strapped in then for an epic finale here in the Italian Grand Prix, which I gotta say has been very nice indeed, hasn't it? It's been a great race, hasn't it? It's been about strategy calls, hasn't it? Not a lot of incidents and accidents, so very nicely done. The biggest accident we've seen is far the Ascari chicane, unfortunately, ended his 60th race in the gravel there. But I think far from far shot there, coming to blows there, weren't they? As they hit each other a few times there. Unfortunately, we've had a couple of issues as well for Indian Jesus with issues there, and we've also had Mumford as well, also getting problems there, unfortunately. And those are technical gremlins there on those 2 drivers, unfortunately. That's why they're out of the race then. And Pike there retired in the qualifying session there and didn't come back, unfortunately. So down to 13 cars, and Tango is also having issues there. Grant is at the fast lap of the race then, and that bonus point could be ever important in this championship as well. As at the moment, Granty is going to lose a lot of points there to Emerson, and Total Peace there is also going to be in the vicinity of Grant as well. Total Peace is only 18 points behind, if I'm not very much mistaken. He is indeed that. So if Peace finished second today, he would be joint in second with Grant, but that is not the case at the moment for Peace. But he is going to be definitely in earshot now of the world champion, and there he is. So he has got 2 cars in front of him, Grant has, and so I think that Grant has this has been a very much. Oh, he's gone into the back of Equals, and he has damaged the end plate, and oh dear. And I wonder if he just underestimated the amount of drive he had out of the second chicane there, and because Equals on 15 lap out hard tires there, and that is going to really hurt Grant there. He's gone to the back of him quite hard indeed then, and that is That's not good at all. He's got the fast lap at the moment, and Granty there is, oh dear, and Granty out of the race. What a shame there from the world champion. Oh, goodness me, then, and that is a big blow as well. Alhan is up into 5th position then, and safety car, we got a safety car there, and oh, goodness me, then, and now it's really rolled the dice out of this final stage of proceedings as well, and oh, goodness me, then, we got a spicy end to this race. Well, how long will the safety car stay out for? Is anyone going to roll the dice and go to the pits? They were near the pits, we're on equals, and equals is coming to the pits, and Cummings is in the pits as well, as I think that so Cummings is coming to the pits, and he wants a new fresh set of soft tyres there for the end of the race as well. This has to be a quick one. Granty out of the race, he's left the session, what a shame there, and now Cummings into the pits, and he's got a 5-second penalty there, hasn't he, from the earlier incident there, and let's see then what he can do from here then. How long is the safety car going to come out for? We've only we've got a handful of laps to go in this race, haven't we? Now, Equals also out of the pits. Well, of course, as soon as I mentioned that this race has been very clean, we get a safety car, don't we? So there you go then. So perhaps I should just leave it be. Into the pits, there comes Emerson then. And the man, the championship leader, the man who's I got to say, been leading this race, I think, more or less from, well, not from start to finish, but he has been out in front more or less quite often. As the Jonathan's in the pits, Told P's in the pits as well. And he's going to be out right behind Clarkey. Clarkey has decided not to come in the pits, so we got fresh soft tyres on for Emerson, and Clarkey is on medium tyres. Jonathan into the pits while changing those tyres. Alhan has stayed out of the pits as well, so he is rolling the dice then. Caesar has also stayed out, but he is on hard tyres here then. It depends on how quick, a 5-second penalty for FIFA. It depends on how quickly the safety car comes in then. Mr. Leach staying out as well. Jonathan out of the pits as well, and so is Total P. This is going to get very interesting indeed then. Michael Prince saying this is going to be a spicy restart indeed then, isn't it? As Liam is also saying that this is these last couple of laps is going to be intense, isn't it? And that is not good at all. It's well, no, that is great for news for me. It's not good news for it's good news for the neutrals. It's not very good for anyone who is like supporting drivers. For example, if you're supporting Emerson, then Emerson is now going to pass Clarkey, or maybe is this, or maybe this the curveball that Clarkey wanted. Then Alhan has elevated himself over the third position. He's currently got driver of the day for me. Fantastic. 7D, which makes no safety cars in the end of that then. So yes, that safety car is very quick there. Look at these cars there right in the middle there, and I don't think the safety car is going to come in then, and I don't think it's going to give a chance for all the drivers to catch up then. We have got a couple of drivers at the second left, but then the second chicane then, which I think is it's Milan then, and FIFA Beefy as well then. So we're going to get racing now then. But look at these ghost cars. But remember, there's a rule in this now. You not overtake the ghost cars. Yes, we know that they're ghost cars, but unfortunately that is just kind of how it goes, really, isn't it? Anyway, right then, here we go then. Let's go then. Where is he going to go? I think that Clark is coming. We are on lap 26 out of 27 then. So we got 2 laps into the side of the Italian Grand Prix. And look at this, and the ghost cars are some absolutely causing Emerson no earthly, no end of problems there. And look at this, we're now back racing. Oh my gosh, what is going on there then? We got a drag race between the Renault and Jonathan there as we come down into turn 1 then. Look at all these cars and they're ghosted, isn't it? As we go into turn 1 as well, it's going to get, is it going to get messy there? Look at this, P's there, forced his way past Mr. Leach's done 9 laps then. And now we're racing then, 2.4 seconds between Emerson and Clark then. And Clark going for his first race win of his career then, as Alhan there is in first this moment, but he has Caesar, who might be his rear gunner, which he probably doesn't really want to be, but at this stage of proceedings then, it's every man for himself, isn't it? This is going to be good stuff indeed then. And now we're on board there with Jonathan then. Look how cool, he's all over the back, isn't he? He has to fight for this podium. He's going for the inside. Oh no, and he's gone on the inside to the second last, but Jonathan might have been a bit overeager there. Jonathan there, his podium was there for the smoke there. Jonathan down in 8th position. Oh my goodness me. What a race there for Jonathan. Oh, that's a 3-second penalty for Clarkey as well. I don't think Emerson's got any penalties. And that might have handed the race there to Emerson. We're on the second to last lap. We're on the final tour of this Italian Grand Prix. Pizan is on the outside to the Parabolica. He's on the outside. Look at this. He's on the outside. Look right there. He is. And that's Caesar. And he's left into 4th position. Emerson sent a fast up the race. He is buried down on Clarkey. And Caesar there is, look at this, right underneath the rear ring of Pisa. He is not good at that. Peter's trying to defend for all he's worth, isn't he? And he's going to go on the inside. That he is on the inside, lunging on the inside. Peter on second phase of action. He's going to cross the curbs. He's got a 5-second penalty as well. I think he was avoiding the collision now. Pease was then, so I think he's going to fight it in the courtroom after this race, isn't he? Caesar now has got to repel the attack from Mr. Elite as well. Clarkey is 2.1 seconds in front of Emerson. Now it's not enough. He needs to find 8/10 of a second on this final lap if he wants to win the Italian Grand Prix then. And, oh gosh, so yes, this is not good at all. I think Cummings is also going on course there for getting his first point in his ALR Gold Curse debut. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Now told Pisa's next target is Alhan as well, as Pisa is could be on course for a podium here as well. We're on board there as we come through the sky for the 27th and final time. Let's take a look to see what's going on in front then. And there is Clarkey then, and I think Clarkey, this is a really statement of intent, isn't it, for Clarkey, this race as well. But I don't think he's going to win this race. It's gone as I know it's equals. Clarkey comes across the line first then, but does he win the Italian Grand Prix? It's Emerson who wins the Italian Grand Prix. Fantastic for Emerson. Alhan in third position. Peace is in fourth. Mr. Elite is up into second. Oh my word. It's a Renault 1-2 here in Italy. Fantastic stuff indeed then. And we've had a lot of 1-2s in the ALR recently. Caesar in sixth position. FIFA 7th. Milan 8th. Jonathan in ninth position. He could have been on that podium, couldn't he? Cummings is in 10th position as well. 11th position is going to be equals, isn't it? But Emerson, what a drive today. That's his 5th Grand Prix win of his career, of his season, I should say. Oh, I apologise there. His 5th Grand Prix win of the season there for Emerson. And it will be his 15th race win of his career as well for Emerson. What a drive there from the Renault driver. Really well done indeed then. And look at that. It's a Renault 1-2. We've had a lot of 1-2s recently, haven't we, in silver as well. And with the Haas team really showing their teeth, haven't they, in silver. And now Renault here tonight as well. Mr. Elite, that'll be his best race result of his career. Fantastic stuff from Mr. Elite. Up until today, his best result was it was third, which was oh goodness me, I can't remember. I think it was wasn't it the season before? Wow, it was quite a while ago, but what a drive today from Mr. Elite, and he gets driver today as well. No penalties at all there for Emerson or Mr. Elite there, and a Renault 1-2 is going to propel them in the it's going to extend it in the constructors, I should say, as well. Emerson, his 5th Grand Prix win of the season, his 15th Grand Prix win of his career as well, and that is just what the doctor ordered, wasn't it, for Emerson? Lovely stuff there. Mr. Elite second. It's a Renault 1-2. Fantastic. Clarkey in third position in the end then. He was close, but no cigar there for Clarkey, but wow, statement of intent, as I said then. Alhan in 4th, and Pease is in 5th, Caesar 6th, FIFA 7th, Milan 8th, Jonathan in 9th, and Cummings in 10th position, Equas 11th, Tango in 12th, and retirements was Mumford, Pike, Granty, Farshot, and Jesus all retired from this epic Italian Grand Prix. Absolutely fantastic stuff, it really was. And in the gantry now, I think I have the race winning drivers as well. So good stuff indeed then. So let's start off with the race winner, shall we? Emerson, I got to say, this is your 15th Grand Prix winner of your career and your 5th of the season. And I got to say, you're on fine form at the moment.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Just kind of got pole position, ran up into the race, pit under the VSC, and then obviously the safety car at the end. I knew penalty, so it's relatively easy.
Oh, so did you just like kind of look after your tires? Because Clarkey was coming at you like a right road rate of knots out most of the race as well. But did you just know about the penalties and just like hold him back?
Yeah, and he was catching me at points, and I knew he had the penalties, so I kind of just managed my race. But yeah, well done to Mr. Elite, P2, 1 and 2 for Renault. That's a fantastic result for Renault. We'll come on to that in a minute. This is a good day for you in the driver's standings. Of course, your closest challenger, Grant, he didn't score any points today, and Pisa only. Well, I don't know where he finished in the end then, because they all just jumped around them. But Pisa not scoring brilliantly either. Then, so how are you feeling then for the championship? Yeah, it was ideal for me because obviously everyone around me didn't really score many points in the championship, and I think I'm missing next week, so I needed to make up for that. So pretty decent.
Really good stuff indeed then. And your 15th race win of your career then. Can you believe it?
Kind of.
Lovely, we'll leave it there then. Okay, let's come to Mr. Elite then. Mr. Elite, this is your best career finish of your career in ALR. Fantastic stuff for a second. And you just kept it clean and consistent out there. That was brilliant stuff in Monza.
That's it, mate. Yeah, absolutely ecstatic. 1-2 for Renault, so I wasn't expecting that at all. I thought I was going to get, 5th or 4th, but I think no penalties held there, so yeah, 1-2. Really happy, like I say, just kept it clean, kept out of trouble. There was a few moments before I was going to bin it, but I think the safety car restart really helped me out. Just really happy for Renault. Congrats Simpson as well. For a great race, absolutely smashed it this weekend.
I got to say, this season you've been absolutely incredible. You've had no DNFs yet this season in your 15 race starts. That's absolutely incredible. And you're just a points machine this season. This is your best season to date. Then, what's changed for you? Is it just the game where you're just feeling more comfortable on it?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. I think it's patience as well. Just trying to, as the seasons go on. I think this is my 4th season of ALR now, so I'm just learning as go by, trying to keep a bit patient, not go for any silly mistake, not trying to make any silly mistakes at all. So, and yeah, I think this game seems to be working for me. So hopefully it continues.
Absolutely brilliant stuff, and it was an absolute pleasure to speak to both Renault drivers tonight. Absolutely great stuff indeed then. Right, I got to say, that was the fastest stream almost in history in ALR. Fantastic stuff, Ben. Tomorrow night is it's silver tomorrow night at 7:30 UK time. German is on a fine vessel, isn't he? Going into the Italian Grand Prix. He's doing absolutely mega stuff indeed then. Can Haas get their 6th race win in a row? And can German get his 5th race win of his career? We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.